Welcome to the Syndicate. I'm your host, RZA786.
I'm your co-host, Political P, a.k.a. Dr. Bombay, a.k.a. Mr. Binoculars.
Hey, that's heavy. What's good, brother? How you doing?
Excellent.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. I see you looking all dapper. Got me looking like a garbage man.
Nah, it's all good. We keep it real. Just try sometimes, as I'm getting older, trying my best, keep it real. But you looking good though, RZA, RZA786, you looking good. You all good. Don't worry about it.
Keeping your game,
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Got to keep my wife on her toes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of competition out there.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like
competition's fierce.
On the toes before it's too late. You know what I mean? I gotta wrap it up with 2 or 3 more. You know what I mean? I'm telling my wife, be warned. I still got it. They ready for me. All you youngins out there. I know all them young girls, some old sugar daddy, but I ain't got no money. But you gonna get with this? You gonna pay me? What's happening?
Hey. Competition's fierce. Competition's fierce.
Ain't no good man like us. I'm telling you. You ain't gonna find them like us. We that real deal. That 100%.
Real talk.
True. Authentic.
Real talk.
Right. Shout out to all my black women, all my women, beautiful women all around the world. Much respect. Humble.
No doubt. That's right. All the black queens out there. Global.
Yeah, we humble. We love y'all. We love y'all. We only wish the best for y'all.
Africa, the Caribbean, South America, Central America. You know what I'm saying? All
over the diaspora, yeah.
South Pacific. That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Shout out to all our beautiful sisters.
That's right.
We love, respect y'all. We only want the best for y'all. We hope that y'all get some beautiful, handsome, strong men from anywhere in the world.
Big facts. Yeah. Big facts. You know what I'm saying? Our world is global. We're global. We're all over the place. Yeah. We're everywhere. But chiming in on our previous discussion, this is more on import-export as it relates to the continent, between the continent and the United States. I mean, we're in some heavy times right now, and we're in times of great opportunity. Having said that, networking is critical. I mean, we are connected to the continent that has the largest deposits of natural resources on the globe, as well as us being from the States. That comes with its own package as well. What steps, Political P, do you think are necessary to engage in the import and export business? All kinds of commodities, agriculture, cars, just the whole nine, in where, now I'll start with that first. We'll start with that first, the steps. Mm-hmm.
I think the first step is relationship. It's knowledge, number one. And I think other than, knowledge is continuously being advanced through different platforms, especially through the internet. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of knowledge-based programs that you can actually get real factual information about what are the commodities and what are the things that is on high demand throughout the world. Whether that commodity is coming, those resources are coming from the United States, or whether those resources are coming from different other countries. That's number one. Number two is to know exactly what are the things that we as a country have to offer, which is a huge amount worldwide. You have companies and industry and food and clothing and in shelter with technology that has been in existence and continually to enhance over the generations continuously up until now, that we can utilize as technological advances and current commodities that's been transferred through technology to an end using product. How we can utilize that as it consists of going overseas, or it pertains to going overseas and doing trade with that. So I think that's number one: relationship, understanding the resources and the technology that we have available.
Mm-hmm.
And the main thing is to build the relationships on both sides. Start the relationship. It's not difficult to contact countries and people in Africa that are probably wanting to do the same thing that you want to do, or they're eager to enter into the market in the United States, or vice versa. You want to enter into the market over there. So it's easy to find people, even if they don't know. You have a knowledge, you know exactly what your target is, let's say in Ghana. And you have a friend that's from Ghana that you made the relationship. Maybe he came to America, you guys studied in high school together or studied in university together, and you graduated and you became friends. And he's always invited you to come over to Ghana. So I think that's the best thing, is to have that relationship, either to marry from amongst them or having friendships with them. And once you understand what sort of resources that they can reach into or they can tap into, you can give them a sort of a direction on what you expect from them, or they can actually allow you to come and visit them. And based on your research, you can come to the understanding of what are the resources, what are the opportunities in terms of products and resources that are in Africa. So I think the main thing is, as I go, just to go back over it again, is first of all, to do your research and development, to understand exactly what do you have back in the United States, what do you have back at home, and where is the demand line, where are the supply and demand lines. So if I know there's certain technology or products and services that I have in the United States that is needed or required in Ghana or in Sudan or in Ethiopia or wherever it is, I can identify who is the customer, where the demand lies, and is it something that can be a secure transaction between myself and those people that are on the ground there. So I think relationship plays a big part of it. That's the first step, Riza.
Okay. And you said research and development?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now, like I said, online, you can do a lot of research and development on a country, right. What they're exporting, what they're importing, what are their relationship in terms of importing goods from the United States. That's right. Or exporting goods to the United States. So there are studies that the United States government have on its different pages, gives you the senses of how much export is being done with each country in Africa, or an import from Africa and export coming from America to Africa. So those studies and those statistics are there. And of course, even probably go down to the companies that are actually exporting to Africa, or African companies from Africa that are exporting to the United States, whether it's from Nigeria, whether it's from Ghana, whether it's from South Africa. So I think that would be first, have an R&D. And what are some of the things that you can bring from the United States that can go into those countries? That's number one. So that means you have a full knowledge of exactly what are you going to be involved in. Who can you reach out to? Maybe you don't have that resource. You don't own the resource, but you know companies that do have those resources, right, in America, but they don't have the contacts or the network or the relationship that you have in the country that they would love to take a market share of export of products to those African countries. So relationship is key. And if you're married amongst those people, that's great. If you have a very good, close relationship with those people, that's also good. And at the same time, maybe they have the access to it, but they don't have the knowledge to it. So it's based on the research and development that you've obtained. You can actually help them learn how to source those items and be able to transfer those resources back to the customer in the United States, or allow that customer, that client, or that producer in the United States through you to enter into the market over there. So it's who you know. It's actually being able to have those relationships. And once you have those relationships, on both sides, you have relationships with the supplier, and you have a relationship with the buyer and the seller. So if I go to, let's say, in the United States, example, clothes. I've been in the business for selling clothes. Like Rocawear, LRG, Academics, you name it, I've done it. I opened a store here before, back in 2004, yeah, it was my first time. And that's what I did. I exported goods from the United States. I opened accounts with LRG, Academics, Godbody, Fubu, Rocawear, Karl Kani, but I did Karl Kani in Europe. I registered with Karl Kani in Europe, and I even had the opportunity to meet Karl Kani and have dinner with him in Spain.
Wow.
And
he was popping in the late 90s. He was popping.
Yeah, he was popping, and I know the story why he fell off. So let's give an example of him. Let's chime in on Karl Kani.
Okay.
How did I come about knowing Karl Kani? As I said, I had my store in here in Qatar, and I was already buying clothes. I had one guy he was living and working in Washington, D.C., but he was from New York. And he so happened to was raised here in Qatar. So he knew exactly what was the people, the youth, the teenagers in Qatar wanted. They were into this hip hop clothing and urban wear clothing as well. They knew about all the urban wear clothing. They knew how to crip walk. They knew all the styles of, America because of the internet. So he so happened to work in Washington, D.C., but he's from New York, and he lived in Qatar most of his life. He even spoke Arabic fluent.
Karl Kani?
He was so happens to be living
Karl Kani?
No, not Karl Kani. I'm on the jump. I'll jump to Karl Kani.
Oh, okay. My bad.
No. It's another guy. He worked. He Karl Kani. Yeah. So what happened? I'm getting to Karl Kani. So what happened was, I'm just showing you how I started out the business. So what happened was, I would pay him to go to New York to buy me clothes in New York, before I opened the accounts with the major brand names, urban brand names. So he would buy it because he knew exactly what was required in the market here in Qatar, where I was at, because he lived here. So we would fly over goods. We would take the goods in New York, take it to our export agent. Our export agent would load it up based on the import specifications here in Qatar. And then within 2 days, almost a half container of clothes would be flown in to Qatar, and we'll clear it. Within 2 days, we got our goods in the store, and it was popping. We was moving. Fast. A lot of the young boys, they thought our clothes was selling like crazy, and we were putting 250% margins on it, and it was still affordable for them. So they were buying our clothes. So all of a sudden, our name got known as the hip hop shop. So fast forward, then I said, okay, I'm gonna, step it up a bit. Now I'm gonna start opening accounts with LRG, Academics, Sean John, all of the names. But the only one that I had a problem with was Sean John. I didn't know, and Pelle Pelle, they got the nice leather jackets. And I found out Pelle Pelle is made in Michigan.
Wow.
My own in Detroit. Yeah, so I didn't know that. So one of my partners, he went to the Bread and Butter show in New York. I'm sorry, I think it was in Las Vegas, yeah. Anyway, fast forward, something happened wherein we had a misunderstanding with Pelle Pelle. We spent over like $200,000 US with them. And they were holding some of our stuff because we were short about $30,000 on the account. And I think one of our our buying managers. I'm sorry, he sold to us. He introduced my partner to one of the finance manager at the show, and the finance manager was really insulting. So when I got wind back from my partner when he came back, what transpired and how we were disrespected, I closed the account, and I was like, I'm not going to deal with them. We spent over $100,000 in 1 year on just one account, Peli Peli, and they acting like this. Okay, we closed the account. So they were begging us to get the account back again. So when they found out that we wasn't going to deal with them anymore, I got a call from a European number, and it was Peli Peli Europe. So they went to their licensee in Europe, and they came to us through their licensee in Europe, which was owning the licensee of Peli Peli and Karl Kani. So I got a call from this guy from Holland, from Amsterdam. So he called me, was like, why don't you come to Amsterdam to the Bread and Butter show in Spain, Barcelona, Spain. So I was like, I was flagging him off like, man, I don't want to do that. Forget about this, Peli Peli. These people are really insulting and stuff like that. He said, we're Europeans. We're not going to treat you like that. And don't worry about this. So anyway, after maybe 6 or 7 calls, he called me, he convinced me to come to Spain because they was going to have this big bread and butter show, which is a big exhibition like Las Vegas. Like, I forgot what they call it. So I said, okay. So I got on the plane, paid my ticket, got to Barcelona, checked into the hotel paid for it. Paid for my hotel. Then they had a party that night. So I go upstairs. Who do I see with them upstairs? Karl Kani. And a bunch of other Black Americans. So they already knew I owned my own store. They knew that I was already in Qatar. And they knew I'm a big spender. So I got respect. So, no, I didn't meet Karl Kani upstairs. So what happened was the next day I go to, because they had a party. I was so tired. I went to go change, but I fell asleep. So the next day I went to the exhibition. So it's time for me to purchase. So when I'm there, they got their display out. They got their new catalog. I think it was spring, summer or fall, winter. So I'm there and I'm looking at their displays, the Peli Peli, and I see, it's Karl Kani. So the first person I saw, they introduced me to was Karl. It was like, this Karl Kani. He's like, hey, what's up? Like that. And I'm like, is this guy, is he Fruity Looty or is he gay? So anyway, I think I ended up spending like $50,000 on that order. And then I stayed there for a couple of days. Boom, I got out. I left like a rock star, which I was a rock star. And I got videos to show that. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get some links to show you the parties that we did and everything. So anyway, the following 6 months, I go back to the Bread and Butter show again. So it was positive. They showed me really much love. So I went back there again and I bought some Karl Kani. So I was so much of a good spender the last time, and they saw my sales were so good, they invited me to go to Amsterdam to the headquarters of the licensee of Karl Kani and Peli Peli, because they were just opening up their warehouse and their showroom and everything. So they were going to relaunch Karl Kani back into the United States. So a lot of the people that were sales reps for a lot of the major brands, Karl Kani hired them, okay, to rebrand and remarket their products. So I met with them. We hung around Amsterdam. And then I was in Spain, and then that's when I met Karl Kani again. But Karl Kani didn't go to Amsterdam with it. So the licensee of Karl Kani, they paid for my trip from Spain to Amsterdam. Oh, I was shocked. You know what I mean? Because they gave me much love, and they put me in a hotel, and we stayed there for 2 days.
Right.
And then from there, they wanted me to go to Germany, but I was like, nah. So anyway, I cut it short. Went back to Amsterdam. Went back to Spain. But before that, we had dinner at an Italian restaurant with a 7-course meal in this 7-star restaurant in Spain. It was top of the line. So that's when I really started chopping it up with Carl. So Carl Kanai was sitting with me. He was like, "Oh, you in Qatar?" You know, he was getting to know me. He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Aren't you close to Dubai?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Would you invite me and my wife and kids there?" I was like, "Okay." So he's straight. So I was like, "Yeah." So he has his wife on the phone, and he puts his wife on the phone and starts speaking to me about going to Dubai, and you know. So I was shocked. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's giving me that much respect.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, "Whoa."
Right.
So bottom line, after my 2 days in Amsterdam, I flew back to Spain, and I stayed in a hotel, the same hotel that they put me in, but it was on my dime. I paid for it. But who do I see in the lobby? Carl Kanai.
Again.
So now we sitting and we talking like real brothers. They just normal, but you know Carl Kanai is famous. So I'm like, "Carl, like, how you doing?" He was like, "Yeah, you know, he heard so much about me, and you know, he was like, he's relaunching his brand. He just gave these people the licensing. And he was like, he had 2 white girls with him. You know, I ain't gonna put it out there like that, but he had some problems because he was like, had 2 girlfriends and they were like with it, but then they were like fighting in the hotel. He almost got kicked out. So he was telling me about that story. Anyway, he invited me for dinner. He said, "Listen, like, why don't we go out together, all of us, me and my girls and you, and we just go out and we kick it, and we can talk about some business, because you know you got a really good link over in Qatar and the GCC, and we heard that you're doing a lot of numbers over there. So why don't we have dinner over this?" It's like, okay. So when we discuss it, we finally come together and we have dinner on his cost. He paid it, and we sit down, and there was one question I asked him. I said, "Carl, man, you was popping, man, in the 90s. Why did you fall off? How did you fall off?" And mind you, at that time when I was speaking to him, Carl Kanai as a brand in the urban brands throughout Europe, he has it on lockdown. I don't know now, but at that time, that was in 2007, 2008. He had all of Europe on lock. And Sean John was not even in the European market or the GCC market. And I was just talking to the brand manager of Sean John at that time. He was the man. And I got in contact with him. That's how much juice I had. And he was like, "Yeah, I can give you the licensing, and I can give you the distribution rights in Qatar, but we're not even in Europe yet." So he was like, let's meet. So I was supposed to meet him at the Bread and Butter, but he never showed up. So now I'm sitting with Carl, and I'm like, "Carl, what happened? How did you fall off, man? How you fall off? How you was the biggest thing, you know, Biggie rocked your stuff, you know, Tupac, everybody rocked your stuff, but you fell off. How?" He was like, "How I fell off is because the brand manager of current Sean John, he took the entire brand team, the marketing team. I was just a designer. I didn't know nothing about branding and marketing and open up accounts and all that stuff. I was just in the room sketching. I was just an artist. That's all I did. So I trusted him to do that. And what he did was he resigned and he left without my knowledge. And then he jumped on with Sean John, with Puff Daddy."
Wow.
He said, if you look at the signature brand of Sean John, right?
Yes.
It's the same signature brand of Carl Kanai, the cursive.
I thought they was back then. I thought they were the same. I thought Sean. I thought it was Carl Kanai.
It was a coup d'etat. It was a coup d'etat in the late 90s. That's how he fell off.
Wow.
He said it would never happen again in Europe. He said he got me in New York, in the US, but can't do it in Europe. So that's the real story. He told me straight up. So what I mean to say is, I think what I brought at that time to just have that audience with people like him, I had audience with people from Red Monkey Jeans. I had LRG, all of their marketing group. They came in, I flew in, I hosted them. LRG, I hosted them dudes. And I blew them away. But I was in a position where I was able to give them sound advice, because when they saw my environment, what I was doing, they had no other choice but to respect me and listen to me, because I was able to offer them advice on how to enter into the market. And everything, all my negotiations, I always was a winner. So.
Why did they respect you? What made them respect you?
Because first of all, they looked at me as if they couldn't believe, here's an African-American, opened up a clothing store that's an urban clothing store, better than what you find in the United States. You remember this guy, this is how we do it.
Yes.
Doom, doom. This is how we do it. I forgot his name.
This is how we do it. Not Luke. This is how we do it. Oh, I know who you're talking about, big bro.
Anyway, but big respect to him. Dude came to my store. He was already having a concert. He came to my store. I hooked him up. I gave him all Red Monkey jeans. And then when he saw what I had on, he saw that I had on this, I still got it. I had a Sean John Brown tracksuit. I had the white one and the brown one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when he saw me with it on, he was like, oh my God, I was gonna put that on. I said, what do you mean? He said, man, Puff Daddy just gave me that 2 weeks ago. And he was like, this is special. Ain't only a few people in America got this. And he said, you got it in your store. How did you do that?
Right.
I already had it. I was having it on. So he was like, man, this is like who are you?
Right.
So what I'm saying is, it was as if I was already ahead of the game, but I was so far away from the United States, but I was so connected with them.
Mm-hmm.
That I had the newest stuff out that most cities don't even have. I had it. You got it? So where that respect was, they said, you from the States, you from Detroit, Michigan, and you popping it like this over here? You doing it like this? So immediately they had to listen. They had to understand who the hell, they just, to figure out how did I get where I'm at. And then for me to give them that welcome that I gave them, I was putting them in penthouses, like hotels. I was putting them on the top floor in 2-bedroom penthouses. You know what I mean? For them. And when I come in, I got my cigar and I'm just relaxed. And I know exactly what I want to tell them. I know exactly what I want to relate to them. So till now, it's based on this, RZA. I got relationships. People from the royal family. I got relationships from Kenya. I got people in relationships in Saudi, UAE. I'm talking about when I fly into another country, I'm not flying to go to a hotel. I'm going to somebody's house and I'm chilling.
They picking you up at the airport.
I ain't in no taxi. You know what I'm saying? I'm driving around with dudes that got legal gun permits that's flying on planes from Kenya, from Nairobi to Mombasa. When I go and fly into South Sudan, I'm being received by government officials. In Ethiopia, I'm going in by government officials with the motorbikes in front of me,
Facts.
with the checks.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm flexing now.
I witnessed that.
I'm flexing.
I seen it.
I don't like to flex, but I'm flexing now.
I'm backing that up. I'm backing that up.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm backing that up.
So I can back it up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I flew to Singapore with government officials with the mandate from the president of South Sudan. I'm dealing with cats from its relationships, bro.
Right.
And it ain't that I was looking for that. It was just, by God's grace, man, I just started connecting with people and my attitude and the way I carry myself.
Right.
People like, they saw me trustworthy.
Right.
So I built relationships with people over 20 years over here. I mean, my best friends from the royal family, not just 1, 2, royal family members. You know what I mean? So I'm at home. That's what I look at it like. The relationships that I build, I'm building with people from different walks of life that trust in me, that I just, as I said, it goes to relationships. And now with this internet, it's so fast. You can make relationships online. People have the same passions that you have. Just building relationships. You don't know what it can come to. So being able to have that relationship and an idea and to know exactly what you want to deal with, that's another issue. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be easy for you to get those ideas and those commodities from one place to another based on the trust and relationship that you have with the people that are hosting you. I own a company here in Qatar. I got 49%, but my partner is from the royal family. He said, no, that's for you. That's for Riz. That's for political P. You got 100% of that. You got freedom. Don't wait for me. Don't wait for nobody. This is your home, and I got your back. So whatever rule applies to everybody else, it don't apply to you.
Look at that.
And most Americans, that trust is there. So if you are a good person and you're ambitious and you trying to reach to the stars, the opportunity for you to meet right people that are having those positions of power, they know having someone like you as an American on board with that type of ambition and aspiration, they see you as an asset to lift them up, to make them stronger, because they know once you're strong, there's certain doors you can go through that they can't go through. Only because of you, they can go through those doors. And I'm talking about even royal family members that I know here. They know there's certain heights that they can reach only through me. But I got to get to that point, and that's the struggle. But it's not that hard. But if I have more Americans, we have more Americans, RZA, that can think in that light, like they believe in themselves, they're Superman,
right?
Like they can jump on high levels, like what what's this guy's name for Family Feud? What was his name?
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey. Like, you got to jump.
Big talk, big facts, big facts. You can't be afraid.
So I would love to be amongst people who like to jump. And when I was with what's his name? Carl Kanai.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of them jumpers. But when I started sitting with him, I'm like, damn, that gave me more confidence. Because he's looking at me like, man, you the man. So I think we just need to have more confidence that we already tailor-made to build relationships with everybody in the world. Number one, you can build relationships. Then once you got those relationships set and you're willing to listen and humble yourself to those people in those societies and what they think you should be, their expectations towards you, all of that lies back at home.
Yes.
What's going on in America for export, nobody can block you from taking goods and services, and you're going to get the support, even from your enemies. I got Jewish people, man, Ashkenazi Jews, man, that's down with me. They ready to come over to this part of the world. Because why? They don't have those relationships, and they can't have that access. And they're willing to work with us. People will pay us to do this. So we're looking at it from a point of view, man. There's so many things that we can do, but the first step is knowing what you have back at home, building the relationships worldwide, which is easier now than ever, without even getting on the plane, right? And then understanding what is required, the supply and the demand, and being able to utilize those resources and be the link between the two. You're the mediator, solve the problem between the two. Give them what they need, give each other what they need, and at the same time, build relationships.
Political P, what role do you think language has to play in this? You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, how important is language?
Okay. I'm gonna be real with you, RZA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking as internally. As us, as Americans, we need to learn more language. Doesn't mean we have to use a language, but as we learn other people's language, right?
Yes.
We understand more about them and their culture. We know what they like and what they don't like, how they think, how they act, the way they dress. We know more about them as they know more about our culture.
Facts.
That doesn't mean I have to go to them and start speaking their language, right? Or if I know some of it, it's just good. But that doesn't mean I have to go to a boardroom meeting and start speaking to them in their language. You understand what I mean? Right. Because when it comes to social, or let's say building family ties and trust, yes, it is very good. But when it comes to business, the international language of respect is English. So that doesn't mean I speak like an American, but I think like them. That means I'm not going to say the wrong thing. That means the language I'm speaking to them is in English, but it's a language that they understand in their own tongue.
Right, right.
I'm not speaking to something that's going to insult them or to belittle them, or I'm just like, I don't know their culture. I don't know nothing about them. And I think I'm 100% right from my perspective coming in from America and this the way things are going. Now I'm thinking like a colonial person.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You understand what I mean? So language, it is very important. I speak Arabic. And there's a lot of people. I'm going to give you a good example. I went to France. And the French, they don't like people who speak English. And when I went there, it was an African dude at the door. I don't know which country, but he had to be from a French colonial country, a French colonized African country, a French-speaking country, let's put it that way, in Africa. So when I spoke to him in English, he's like, you know, like I was insulting him. So then there was another, I think he was Moroccan, Algerian. I saw that he was Arab, so I started speaking to him in Arabic. When I spoke to him in Arabic, the guy who was speaking French, he knew Arabic. He started speaking to me in Arabic. Totally different attitude. Total different change. You know, we were like, Habibi, kan halik, Sheikh Barak, mashallah, وانت من فرنسا لا لكن كلمة عربي. Like this, you know, we talking like we old friends, we didn't see each other before.
Right.
So that connection, just by the language, brought us closer. Just. So it opened the door where if it was just English to France, we would have been fighting each other.
Yes.
That's facts.
Yes.
And you got a lot of people in Africa and all over the world speaking Arabic. And just by me knowing that language, it opens a lot of doors, because they identify you, that you know them and you respect them. So when you saying like, it makes them feel more closer to you.
Absolutely.
And then the way I speak, they looking at like, are you sure you from America? Because Americans don't speak Arabic. Like you speaking it like, they be like, no, you're not from America.
Right. Right.
So I'm like, hey man, however you want to put it. But when they find out that you have all of that, they say, man, what a gift from God.
Right. Right.
You know, like they're going to cling on to you. They're going to start opening, you know, what their inner thoughts and inner feelings about how you can help solve their problems. I'm not just talking about Africans. I'm talking about Arabs. I'm talking about Asians. I'm talking about a lot. They feel comfortable to disclose their inner deep secrets or feelings, and you can help correct that in them. You know what I mean? You can like calm them down and say, no, it's not like that. It's, you know, they will start learning from you. They will start understanding who we are as African Americans.
Language is a tool. Language is a tool. And there's a lot of power in the ability to communicate with people in their native tongue. You feel me? It's almost psychological. You know what I'm saying? When I'm dealing with Cambodians, right? You know, I got some ties to Cambodia.
How is it there, man? Like, give me an example. Like, what you mean?
Cambodia is the black sheep of Asia, but they have the richest culture. They are very, very cultured, and they're master rice farmers. They grow more than 20 varieties of rice. It's in the villages. If you're black and you're real dark, like real, I witnessed this with my eyes. If you're real dark, and if you're black and you got like woolly hair like us, you like celebrity. You are like a celebrity. I'm telling you. I mean, I seen people with my own eyes. I was there with a friend of mine who was much darker than me. I seen people stop, you know, on their little tuk-tuks, their little motorbikes with the little carriages in the back. I seen people stop and almost get into accidents to look and rub his skin like this, and then go like this.
Whoa.
Now this here, when they do this, right? This is like a sign of sanctity. This is what you do to like religious people, and it's like a religious omen, you know. because in Southeast Asia, they have two kinds of Buddhas. They have a white ebony Buddha, and they have a black jade Buddha. You can buy them at the stores. You know, the black one is for good luck. The black ebony Buddha is for good luck. So when they see a dark black person, it's symbolic of that black Buddha. And they know, like when I was there, I was in the village, literally no running water, like no electricity. They were using car batteries to light the house up. My hair was high at the time, like like how our hair is, kinky and woolly. And I'm walking through the village, right? And this old woman in her 90s, she was like, she said, wow, on means sok saat, on means sok saat. You know, like, you have beautiful hair. She goes, you got the hair of Buddha, what she said. Now, I already knew the history. I knew the history. I know Buddha was a black man with woolly hair. They have verses in a lot of their Buddhist scripture that describe Buddha, literally describe him. Dark skin with like woolly hair. So when they see a black person roll through either with dark skin and or brown, light skin, but with the woolly hair, that differentiates you from the average Cambodian. Although they have a black gene also. They have an ancient black gene because the ancient Khmer, which is pronounced Khmer, the ancient Khmer were actually an Afro-Asiatic, a Negroid people. There are depictions and pictures of them. They were short. They looked like the black indigenous people of the Philippines, the black indigenous people of Malaysia and Indonesia. They were short with woolly hair. That's how the original Cambodians looked. So what you have is a mixture of those black pygmies with black Australoids. And that's the Cambodian. And then you had a later migration of Chinese come in. But the true Cambodian phenotype, Khmer, it's we in America say Khmer, but it's pronounced Khmer. The true Cambodian phenotype is actually round eyes, dark brown skin, with a flat nose. That's how they look. That is how they look. So in any case, Cambodia is ripe for anything regarding agriculture and garments as well. Like if one wants to engage in like the garment industry, China, because China's middle class is growing so fast, it's becoming more and more expensive to produce in China. A lot of them have moved their companies to Cambodia. And they're hiring Cambodians that get paid working 60 hours a week, $150 a month. 60 hours a week, $150 a month. Sometimes even more than 60 hours for $150 a month. So it's cheaper to employ Cambodians. So, you have a lot of fabric garment companies in Cambodia. It's also a country that is good for, again, rice, black pepper. Cambodia has the second best, or the first, depending on who's the taste tester, black pepper in the world. It's called, it is grown mostly in a place called Kapot. Kapot is a little province in southern Cambodia. They got like red soil. In any case, it's the best place, one of the best places in the world to grow black pepper, but also mangoes. You know, for those who didn't know, mangoes are indigenous to Southeast Asia, Cambodia and Thailand. That's where they actually came from before they were exported throughout the New World, you know, so on and so forth. But so you know, you got again agriculture.
See, I think RZA.
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
no, go on, go on. Yep.
You know, you just to chime in on. You talk about black pepper. Is it black pepper in its raw form, or is it actually it's already been broken down to like, you know, like a soil, like not a soil, but how can I say
Ground, like
ground pepper?
Well, that
Do they ground it?
no. Well, you can, but that is done by the whoever the wholesaler is going to buy from. Like that's another whole process. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about just like having land where you're producing it, or you go to the farmers themselves, like we said previously, and buy their whole crop. Because black pepper, it takes about a good 5 to 7 years for it to become established.
Right.
You know.
Right. So I think you know, like example to keep on track what you were saying about, you know, like example black pepper. America is a country that they have that technology where a machine can be bought. So if you have the relationship, right now, RZA, we know you have the relationship, and we have a few other people that would be willing to work along with RZA to, let's just example, we bring in the machinery and the technology, or bringing the into Cambodia, make agreements with those farmers that this allocation of pepper will be grounded, packaged, and resold back to the United States. Those are the opportunities that can happen with the relationships that we have. And I'm sure there's markets all over the world for such thing like black pepper. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, black pepper. Black pepper can sell upward of $7,000-8,000 per metric ton. I'm talking premium black pepper.
Yeah. Like over here, they're mixing it with sawdust, all kind of garbage. It's not pure.
Oh.
It doesn't even burn your tongue.
Oh man.
So that's the beautiful thing about Americans. We got access to the world with this American passport. You know what I mean? That's another thing. Travel.
Wallahi. Yes. Yes.
So you have in Cambodia and in Southeast Asia, you know, you have that connection, RZA. You have it. And I think the more you travel, the more relationships you build, you should always think about what kind of commodities you can bring from there, export out, import it into the United States, or vice versa. And I think from my experience, where I do feel that I could have probably put a lot more time, this time around, I will put more time into getting commodities from other nations and being able to find a target market in the United States, which is probably one of the biggest consumer markets in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
It's not rocket science. Like in Africa, we got those kind of connections in Tanzania and in Southeast Asia, where they respect us and they rely on us to enhance their products, to take their raw material. As long as we do right by them for their economy, they'll give it to us. I'm sure, you know, as what you just mentioned, you know, how they reflect your reflection on when you went there and how they really respected you. And you do the right thing by taking loads of their pepper, secure it, being able to ground it, package it in the United States, and then sell it at a wholesale price that's affordable and the quality is impeccable. Do you know how that can help their economy, help them as a people? By taking 50% of what you sell, net profit, they get 50. It's better than me just taking their raw material. I'm not just taking their raw material, giving them pennies on a dollar, and then sell it for 1,000% margins, and then they're still slave to me. No, it's better for me to partner with them and grow their society up. They're going to trust and believe on me more, as if I'm the savior of them. So the respect will be more stronger. Eventually, they'll be able to travel with us. Same thing with commodities like diamonds or whatever. We give them the powerful thing for us as Americans, Rizza, is that we are a beacon hope of freedom. It's real. We are a beacon hope of freedom, what freedom really, really is. The freedoms that we have throughout this world, an opportunity that we have, can open up freedom and opportunity for a lot of people.
Right.
We can feed a lot of people. I'm talking in communities, and I'm talking about people that are already rich. We can go to these countries and they're already rich, but they really admire us based on the freedom and opportunity that our country and what we stand for, whether we accept it or not. So we have a lot of value, Rizza. Anywhere we go, we just got to get over that. We're oppressed. We're oppressed. Always riding on that oppressed. People still throwing that after 50, 60 years, oppression, oppression. No, we come beyond that.
That's a slave mentality. That's a slave mentality.
Yeah.
And if
We're
you
not
think
slaves
like,
anymore.
if you think like a slave, you're gonna be treated like a slave. People treat you how you think about yourself.
You know, I built relationships with people in America that I never thought that, you know, with the confidence and the experience that I have just by emails. I made friends with people, the CEO of Post brand, Post. Post is no joke. He's the CEO of Post.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love Post. Raisin Brand, Post Honeycombs.
Dude, I'm directly on his WhatsApp.
The CEO of Post.
Of Post.
Oh,
so
now,
I know.
Wait a minute. Is that from your chips? Is that from your chip enterprise?
No, has nothing to do with chips. You know what it came, how the relationship built off? Me complaining to one of his employees that's over the international sales and marketing of Multi-Meal. I've been trying to get this Multi-Meal into the country as they're just to buy from them. Import. I told him I'm going to do everything. I'm going to buy, I'm going to import, I'm going to open in the market. This is my market strategy. Everything with confidence. I'm a boss. So you can't just tell me and flag me off. So for 2 years, this guy was flagging me off. So I said, you know what? I'm going to find out who the CEO is. I found out the CEO on LinkedIn. I asked him to be my LinkedIn partner. He accepted me as his LinkedIn. When he did that, so many other people started coming to my site asking me to be with them because they saw I'm with the CEO. And that's not just him, General Motors, so many dudes. So I sent him an email. On his LinkedIn, I saw the email. I explained to him what was the problem, what was the solution. After 2 days or 3 days, I got an email from another person who's having the similar position of a marketing guy for this Middle East. We got on WhatsApp, we started talking. Then I got the WhatsApp number to the CEO, and we've been friends ever since. It didn't pan out because there was some, of course, there's pork, you know, like it's Multi-Meal has a lot of GMO products, a lot of GMO products.
Okay.
So it's not suitable. But if they said if they ever change their ingredients, they're gonna come to me. Okay. That's how much confidence that I had. Like I look at it, logic. What is the logic, practical way? What if I believe on what I'm saying and there's a strategic way? I may be a little bit crazy, but I'm confident in what I'm talking about based on my experience, and I communicate that in the proper way without having that, oh, you're racist. No, I don't look at it that way.
Right.
I look at it in a different way. This is just an idiot. This guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Boom. Let me just go over him because I have to deal with that all the time anyway. When you reach to that height, a level, the more higher the level is, the more practical that person is. Mm-hmm. And the more chances he's going to say yes because he deals with logic, mm-hmm. not with policy and procedure. You understand what I mean? So whenever somebody throws some policies and procedures at me, I have to question them. Mm-hmm. Who made this policy? Because when I go to the real decision makers, they're the ones who came up with the idea, but I can actually come with them with something that can change their mind. And when they change their mind, they write the policy as what they see as correct. So Black Americans are also able to have confidence in themselves to change the way things are done in the world. And people rely on that. Like, look at our examples.
Right.
In sports and entertainment as the most minimum example that everybody knows of. Okay? So it's not that we're just limited to just sports and entertainment. No. Paul Huffey, like you just gave an example. This Paul Huffey was amazing.
Paul Cuffey, yeah.
Paul Cuffey. How many people are aspiring to that? I want to be like Paul Cuffey. It can be done.
Yes. Yes.
So
yes.
I just want to appeal to American audience, specifically African Americans. Believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, and now more than ever, the internet can open up a lot of doors for you to know about our brothers, and you'll be surprised how much they know about us and how much they want to be like us and how much they want to find the same freedoms and the same struggles that we go through, how the comparisons are so similar, how they really draw themselves to our struggle because they have those same similar struggles, and we're on the forefront. Europeans even. There's one guy named Jay Dilla. One white boy, he was at his concerts like, "You saved my life." How we touch people. So now more than ever, there's so much we have to offer and so much expectations that is on us, but we have to reach out to those countries, know their language, know their culture, know exactly what we have to offer. We have so much to offer. And that there are also a lot of people from America that are not African Americans that would love to be a part of what we're doing and respect us if they see we're organized and we're really about doing business. Like the majority of the company factories that are family-owned businesses, Italians, immigrants, first, second generations, they're thriving in America. I built relationships with them, and I'm taking their products all over the world. I did it with Better Made. Better Made is an Italian company, Italian immigrants, second generation now, established in 1930. 5 containers I sent over to Qatar, distributed and everything. And they love me every time. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Political P. You're the man. You're doing all this for us just to get their products in the market that they never had that opportunity. So that also built political strength. So they're well known in Michigan. They're well known in Detroit. So I could tell them, look, go to the city of Detroit, mayor of Detroit, and tell them, we want to fly. I'm over there, have an open ceremony. A Better Made launched in Qatar, or Better Made launched in Nigeria, or Better Made launched in Ghana. So now we're going to fly over political people that's going to meet other political people and support us in what we're trying to do. We can do it. It's not that I ain't do it before. We ain't do it before, RZA. But these are the things that it's a blueprint. It's simple. You just got to put in work and believe in yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, the sky's the limit. We got so many opportunities.
Cars.
In opposition.
Tell me a little bit more about, like, how do you, when you said you dealt with cars, what's your knowledge about, like, the market in terms of the demand on cars, U.S. cars throughout the world?
Huge, because the U.S. U.S. cars are like the luxury model. Okay. A lot of cars that are manufactured in Europe or cars that are manufactured for the European market they don't come fully loaded. They come with, a lot of times they come with manual windows, manual seats. They're small, cars that are manufactured for the US market are made in a way that it's luxury, power windows, automatic climate control, power seats, power moon roof versus a manual. All that kind of stuff. And that's what the third world or the developing world tends to like. That's what that. Not only that, though, we have a large variety of cars. I mean, we have with the world's largest economy. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, uh, the variety of cars.
What about the price in comparison to USA? If I was from Nigeria and I wanted to buy cars from USA and buy cars from Europe, which is more profitable for me, affordable for me, meaning in terms of the cost? Is it more expensive in US or is it more expensive in UK? Even though now that in US they have added accessories, it's full options. Is it that makes it more expensive or is it cheaper?
I don't have much knowledge on the European per se market. I know their cars are more base than ours, but in terms of how much I'm not really privy to how much they sell for in that market. But I do know exporters or importers love importing American cars. But not only that, we manufacture big trucks as well, SUVs and big like Suburbans and Tahoes and all that kind of stuff. So like, this is the place to be, man. This is.
Yeah.
We have so many resources and access
Mm-hmm.
to high quality, goods.
Yeah.
So you'll find more.
Well,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I was figuring out, I think the best way is if you want to start a business or you want to be able to take American quality products and you want to have a footprint anywhere in the world, but let's talk about Africa.
Okay.
I think the platform should be build a partnership, a relationship with people on the ground. With them, have a point of sales, not a retail outlet, but sort of like a warehouse or a place where you can store your goods without having retail space, and be able to take those products and sell them online, and as a tool to advertise and market, and a direct purchase directly to the end user. This is something that's now available based on the technology enhancement. Now you can reach the end user faster and more efficient sometimes without even cash. So having that product, even if it's a small amount or it's a large amount, just being able to have the network of reaching the end user for a guaranteed purchase, cash to cash, or directly credit transaction, this will be the best thing for any American who wants to go overseas to collaborate, stay there for some time, that at least he has a network where he can go. The job is only to get the items from USA, bring those items into wherever the country you're going to go, in Africa or anywhere in the world, set up a relationship with a person on the ground, and being able to distribute that directly to the end user. And using a link, a platform of internet. This is the easiest, simple way. The cost is low. Okay. At the same time, being able to take resources from Africa or anywhere in the world and being able to take it as a raw material, being able to partner with them on the ground, having the technology to be able to produce that product into a package, the raw material, make it a package, and selling it to the market on a wholesale level, on a retail level, directly to end user, or to supply the market demand, which is a little bit more structured and more easier. So either way, it will be beneficial for a person to do it that way. I would say more so warehouse to custom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You start off with $1,000. You start off with $2,000. It should be able to pay for your trip. It should be able to build a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
get your product off easy. So you don't have to continually flying in and all the time. Now the world is different.
Right. I guess that's where credibility comes in. You know, being credible enough for people to actually trust that the transaction.
Amazon is doing it on a huge scale.
That's right. That's right.
So we don't have to be that big, right? But as you said, it's a trust.
Right. I mean, let's I want to give another example. Now you're in the Khalij, you're in the Emirates, right? You're basically
in Doha, Qatar.
You're in Doha, Qatar, which is basically Dubai, Bahrain. You're right there. All the
UAE, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Oman.
You're right there. Now, being there for all these years, you know how huge the fragrance industry is. Now, can you know what, Political P? Before I even go into oud or agarwood, before I even go into that, can you share with our audience that whole industry, the oud industry in that region, how much of it, how huge it is?
It's massive. It's a part of the culture.
Mm.
It's like a person wearing on the red head dress, what they call the agal and gutra, which is black little thing around. It's just that important. It's a fabric of their society. It is their perfume. They've adopted this as their perfume. It's a wood that I think it rotted, and it brings a specific odor when you burn it. One small chip can range anywhere from $20 to $50,000. No bullshit.
Right.
No bullshit.
Right.
And what they do is they smoke it. You can take this, and it's a beautiful smell. You put it on the coal, and I'm talking a little small, and you smoke it in your body, you can take 5 showers. The smell is still there, and it's a beautiful smell. So the Khalijis, the people from the Gulf, their oud, their falcons, their women are all, this is a part of the fabric. The oud, the wood chips, it's a part of it. And I'm talking like high level. And Cambodia is the best place to get this. Like everybody knows it. So if you have the connect where you can bring in, let's say a log, just a small log like this, that's maybe worth $1 million to $2 million.
Political P. Now being that
it's that serious.
Being that you just enlightened our viewers on, the importance and how relevant oud is. We just mentioned Cambodia, right? And when I was in Cambodia and all that kind of stuff. The potential for oud production in Cambodia is vast. Okay, I'm talking about having our own plantation. Okay, now grade A oud. Now for y'all who may have a hard time, finding oud, the scientific name is agarwood, agarwood, agarwood. Now they got different species, but this is agarwood. Agarwood. Grade A agarwood comes from the resin of an agarwood tree that has become poisoned, naturally poisoned. And the tree's older than 100 years old. That produces grade A agarwood. The older the tree, the higher the grade. Then you have grade B, then you have grade C. Okay. Now, because of the advancements in technological advancement, they found a way where they could actually tap a tree that's 7 years old to induce the bacteria to formulate, enabling you to extract the oud oil through steam distillation. So in about 7 years, so for instance, with a tree that is like 7 years old, you could start tapping it. Once you inoculate it with this bacteria. Now it wouldn't be grade A. It wouldn't be grade A, and it may not even be grade B, but even a grade C oud, you're talking big dollars. Even grade C, as long as it's not synthetic, like fake, it's gotta be
exactly.
Gotta be legit. So I mean, political peace over in the Emirates.
But I tell you one thing, Rizza, with a relationship that you have, to increase the trust with those people there, mm-hmm. we would love to, first of all, welcome them to Qatar and the GCC and be able to show our trust by giving them the freedom of doing business here with us, you in particular, because you're the one who will bring them, that will give them safe, secure passage of their commodity into this country and give them residency that will allow them to partner with the people that are from this region, from the royal family, that would love to say, hey, I will open the door for your sales and transactions to happen where you have full control over that transaction of your commodity. Mm-hmm. That will then in turn be able to bring in the money to reinvest in those farms, to bring in that bacteria, to help expedite that 100 to 200 years to 7 years with a Class C type of grade.
That's what the syndicate's about, Political P. These are some of the projects that we in the syndicate are actually, embarking upon. So,
we're there. We ready.
We ready.
We got. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we coming to the table, family, with a whole lot. And in time, as we become more established, we'll begin giving classes on different things. Those of you who want to engage in the car business, okay, we'll be giving classes on Patreon. Those of you who want more kind of like on the import export side, Political P got some stuff for that, a whole lot. He's been all over the world on business trips. Real talk. This is no exaggeration. Okay. We're talking China, Singapore, all throughout Africa, different other
Kenya, beautiful, Ethiopia, Sudan, South Sudan. Like the world is beautiful, man. We can do a lot. So it's not that we can do, we gonna do a lot. And I just think, it's just captivating for us to be involved in such opportunities that can change our demographics as where we currently are and where we currently can be. Mm-hmm. That we can get off a plane and don't have to go to a hotel, but we can be in a villa or somebody's palace that's really believing on you and treating you like a brother. You know what I mean?
Right.
Eating from the same plate, humble. So I think there's a lot in store, as Rizza 786 put it. We're not just talking, and we want to back everything up, and we want to just keep moving forward. We want to just keep going about the past and the past and the past, but sometimes we need to let the people know that, look, this is what we're equipped with. And this is what we're willing to do as RZA 786 put it. Let's do some classes. Let's hit people on to what's going on and approach it with realization, not somebody just giving me a story about, oh, come back to Africa and, you know, without any, now I'm there. I have to learn through this, you know, as a beginner when I could have done most of that online. I could have found out all that out before I even take those. So we're willing to help. Right. We're willing to send you guys around that path and to take you by the hand if you can believe in and trust us as African Americans that we do have that experience. You know, we're not just a, you know, Pookie on the block. Even Pookie on the block, you know what I mean? He come over here with us and peep game probably more faster than any of us.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So even Pookie on the block, you know, he got what it takes. So I'm ready. You know, I'm ready for it.
So family, Political P, you got anything else to contribute to this build?
Peace and love.
All right, family. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. You know, if you have any questions, you know, let us know what's good. Until next time, peace.
Peace.